In the heart of Central America, a colossal project is quietly taking shape, one that could alter the course of global commerce and geopolitics. This is the Nicaragua Canal, a vision so grand it has captured the world's attention. Designed to rival and even surpass the legendary Panama Canal, this new waterway aspires to become a vital artery for international shipping, promising to reshape the very foundations of global trade and logistics. The project is spearheaded by the Hong Kong-based HKND Group, whose ambitious plans have drawn both awe and skepticism. It stands as one of the most daring engineering feats ever attempted in modern history. If completed, the canal would stretch an astonishing 278 kilometers, over 3 times the length of Panama's, carving a deep and wide path through Nicaragua, capable of accommodating the world's largest and most advanced ships. With an estimated $50 billion price tag, the Nicaragua Canal is more than just a construction project. It's a bold declaration of intent for both Nicaragua and China, signaling their ambitions on the world stage. For Nicaragua, the canal is touted as a transformative path to prosperity, with government officials promising it could double the nation's GDP and spark a new era of economic growth. Supporters say it will create hundreds of thousands of jobs, not only in construction, but across industries, offering hope to communities long plagued by poverty and unemployment. For China, the canal represents a strategic move, providing a new, faster trade route between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, and strengthening its economic ties with Latin America. It's also a chance for China to establish a significant foothold in the Americas, expanding its influence in a region long dominated by other global powers. Yet, despite the grand promises, controversy and opposition swirl around the project, fueling heated debates both within Nicaragua and abroad. Environmentalists warn of potential disaster, as the canal's route would cut directly through Lake Nicaragua, the region's largest freshwater reservoir, threatening delicate ecosystems and vital water supplies. There are also deep concerns about mass displacement, with thousands of families at risk of losing their homes and livelihoods as construction advances. Critics point to a troubling lack of transparency in the deal, raising questions about who is truly making the decisions and who stands to gain the most. Many question whether the real beneficiaries will be the Nicaraguan people or if foreign investors and political elites will reap the lion's share of the rewards. The Nicaragua Canal is far more than an infrastructure project. It's a high-stakes gamble with consequences that could ripple across the globe for generations. Its unfolding story is one of ambition, risk, and the collision of national dreams with environmental and social realities, as hopes for progress clash with fears of irreversible loss. The world is watching closely, waiting to see if this new titan will rise to reshape history, or become a cautionary tale of dreams gone awry. The Nicaragua Canal's route begins at the Atlantic, carves through rainforests and wetlands, and crosses Lake Nicaragua for over 100 kilometers. Dredging the lake poses enormous technical and ecological challenges, threatening its fragile ecosystem. On the Pacific side, a series of massive locks would lift and lower ships, requiring excavation on an unprecedented scale. The project includes 2 deep-water ports, a free trade zone, an airport, and tourist resorts, an entire economic corridor. Yet, despite grand plans, construction has stalled. Delays, financial uncertainty, and the disappearance of HKND's billionaire backer have cast doubt on the project's future. Skeptics question whether the $50 billion cost is realistic or even attainable. The engineering hurdles are immense, and the environmental risks are profound. Political instability only adds to the uncertainty. The blueprint exists, but turning it into reality remains a monumental challenge. The world waits to see if this vision will ever break ground. The Nicaragua Canal is designed to eclipse the Panama Canal in size and capacity. While Panama's canal handles Neo-Panamax ships, Nicaragua's would accommodate even larger vessels, promising lower shipping costs. Its route is longer and more invasive, but could save ships time and fuel on certain global routes. The Panama Canal is a proven state-run enterprise. Nicaragua's is a high-risk, privately backed venture with unprecedented foreign control. Politically, the stakes are higher. Panama's canal is neutral, while Nicaragua's is seen as a strategic play by China. This rivalry is about more than logistics. It's a contest of global influence. The outcome could reshape maritime trade and the balance of power in the Americas. The world's shipping lanes and its politics hang in the balance. Imagine a second transoceanic canal slicing through Central America, a project that would fundamentally transform the landscape of global shipping and trade as we know it. The proposed Nicaragua Canal could open its waters to the world's largest post-Panamax vessels, offering a vital shortcut between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, and potentially easing congestion at existing routes. This new passage would dramatically shift trade patterns, making it cheaper and faster to ship goods directly to U.S. East and Gulf Coast ports, bypassing the longer and often crowded routes through the Panama Canal. The ripple effects could be profound, moving economic activity, investment, and jobs from the U.S. West Coast to the East, and potentially revitalizing port cities along the Atlantic seaboard. On a global scale, the Nicaragua Canal could challenge both the Panama and Suez Canals, forcing shipping companies to constantly recalculate the most efficient and cost-effective routes for their fleets. Increased competition among these major canals could drive down shipping prices, benefiting consumers worldwide but putting financial pressure on canal operators and the countries that depend on their revenues. With the capacity to handle the largest bulk carriers, the Nicaragua Canal could reshape global energy and commodity markets, making it easier and more cost-effective to move oil, grain, and raw materials. Resource-rich countries like Venezuela, Brazil, and the United States could export their commodities more efficiently, potentially boosting their economies and altering global supply chains. However, the canal would also become a new choke point for global trade, conferring significant economic and political power to whoever controls it, and raising new questions about security and access. Control over this vital artery could alter the dynamics of global resource distribution, shifting influence among nations and shaping international relations for decades to come. The stakes are enormous, not just for Nicaragua, but for the entire world economy, as investors, governments, and businesses watch closely to see how the balance of power might shift. The canal's impact would ripple outward, felt from Asia to the Americas and beyond, influencing trade flows, shipping times, and even the price of everyday goods. It's a new chapter in the ever-evolving story of global commerce, one that could redefine how nations connect and compete. The question remains, who will write this next chapter, and what will it mean for the future of world trade? The Nicaragua Canal promises huge gains for some, and losses for others. For Nicaragua, it's billed as a path to prosperity, but the terms favor foreign investors, raising doubts about who truly benefits. Global shipping companies could save billions, passing lower costs to consumers. U.S. East and Gulf Coast ports stand to gain, while Panama's Canal and U.S. West Coast ports could lose business and jobs. The project's scale brings risk. If traffic falls short or costs soar, Nicaragua could be left with debt and environmental scars. The canal's success depends on trade growth, shipping trends, and geopolitical stability. It's a high-stakes gamble with no guarantees. The winners could see unprecedented rewards. The losers could face lasting consequences. The world is watching to see who comes out ahead. The Nicaragua Canal is a geopolitical game-changer, poised to alter the balance of power in the Western Hemisphere and beyond. For China, it's a bold extension of its Belt and Road Initiative into the Americas, directly challenging U.S. influence in a region long considered America's backyard. By investing in this massive infrastructure project, China signals its intent to become a dominant player in global trade and regional politics. The canal gives China a strategic foothold alarmingly close to U.S. shores, raising significant security concerns in Washington and prompting debates about national interests and regional stability. For the U.S., the canal represents both an opportunity and a threat, offering potentially lucrative new trade routes, but also complicating its traditional dominance and influence in the hemisphere. The project strengthens Nicaragua's ties with China, giving its government new leverage in regional politics and a stronger voice on the international stage. Neighboring countries face both economic opportunities, such as increased trade and investment, and serious risks, including potential instability, environmental fallout, and the challenge of adapting to shifting regional dynamics. The canal redraws not just shipping routes, but the entire political map of Central America, forcing countries to reconsider alliances and economic strategies. It's a powerful symbol of a shifting global order, as China and the US vie for influence, resources, and strategic advantage in a rapidly changing world. The competition is about more than just canals. It's about the future of global governance, economic rules, and who sets the standards for international cooperation. The Nicaragua Canal is a test case for whose model, American or Chinese, will shape the 21st century's infrastructure and global order. The stakes are as much political as they are economic, with every decision echoing across continents and markets. The world is watching closely as this new front in the global power struggle unfolds, knowing its outcome could reshape international relations for decades to come. The canal's route threatens one of Central America's most sensitive ecosystems. Dredging Lake Nicaragua could contaminate water for hundreds of thousands and destroy unique habitats. The project would clear vast rainforests, releasing carbon and endangering countless species. Environmental oversight is weak, and activists warn the damage could be irreversible. The canal poses a stark choice: short-term gain or lasting environmental loss. The canal's path would displace tens of thousands, many from indigenous and Afro-descendant communities. Forced expropriation and inadequate compensation have sparked protests and unrest. The project threatens not just homes, but cultural identity and human rights. The lack of transparency has deepened mistrust and social division. The canal may unite oceans, but it's dividing a nation. The Nicaragua Canal stands as a symbol of ambition and risk. It could revolutionize global trade, but its future is uncertain. The project's environmental and human costs are immense. It's a fault line in the global power struggle between China and the US. The canal's fate will reveal much about the world's priorities: profit, power, or preservation. As nations seek faster, cheaper trade, the true price of progress is up for debate. The Nicaragua Canal could be a transformative engine or a cautionary tale. The world waits to see which it will become.